Thank you for coming today to share your oral history of your recollections of your experiences while a student here at Chestnut Grove Elementary School. This project is being funded by the Conservation Fund. To get started, would you please state your name and give me a list of the schools you have attended?
Hugh Turner. I attended Chester Grove Elementary School and I attended Rocky Knoll Elementary School and I went to Unity High School.
Okay, where did you go to school after Unity High School?
I went to college then to Hampton University. At the time, it was Hampton Institute in Hampton, Virginia.
Okay, thank you. In what grades did you attend Chestnut Grove Elementary?
I started in 1946 in the first grade, but I only went half of the year because my parents took a sharecropping house in Bram Springs, uh, North Carolina. So then, after a half year at Chestnut Grove Elementary School in the first grade, I went to Rocky Knoll for a full year. So I was there for a half year of the first grade, half year of the second grade.
Okay, thank you very much. Do you have any special memories of teachers or other things that you may reflect on today?
Oh, I had a lot of good teachers. There was only one that I would consider below standard, but I had lots of good teachers. I don't remember that much about my first grade teacher at Chestnut Grove, Mrs. Miller, but she was an outstanding teacher. I know that. But I remember all the other teachers at Chestnut Grove, and I remember my teacher at Rocky Knoll School for that one year. The interesting thing about Rocky Knoll School was it was a one school, one teacher school. She had grades 1 through 6. So lots of times the students in the upper grades helped students in the lower grades. So she allowed me, when I was going to after I went to the second grade, to really take my classes from the third grade. So she was going to prepare me to go from second to half grade of third grade and then the fourth grade the next year. But at the end of that year, I moved back and came to Chestnut Grove School. So the last half year of my second grade and third grade were at Chestnut Grove Elementary School.
So, of the teachers that you had here at Chestnut Grove, which one gives you the most special memory that you can remember?
I have three. Three. I guess number one would be Mrs. Morrison, who happened to be my aunt. And I also had special memories of Mrs. Smith, who taught me in the fifth and sixth grade. And then Mr. Marsh, who taught me in the seventh grade. He was very special, very special. The first male teacher that I had, and he really was special.
Can you tell me about a typical day when you were here at the Rosenwald School, Chestnut Grove Elementary?
A typical day was to start the day with prayer and salute to a pledge to the uh, flag. We did that every day. And then we went into our studies. I think, if I remember correctly, we had a recess for about 10 minutes, and then we had an hour for a lunch period. And during that lunch period, we played, softball, baseball, basketball, shot marbles. I don't know if many people are familiar with shooting marbles, but we used to do that. It was fun. It was fun.
Okay, what subjects do you recall taking here at Chestnut Grove
Uh,
Elementary?
uh, you know, at that time, they put a lot of emphasis on spelling and arithmetic. And I was not good at spelling at first, but Miss Morrison taught me so much about phonics that I became a good speller. And arithmetic came natural to me. That was something I really enjoyed.
How did Chestnut Grove Elementary School influence your career choice?
Well, they convinced me that I had exceptional ability in math. So therefore, when I decided to choose a major when I went to college, that was the subject I decided to major in, math.
Okay, what was your career choice?
Well, when I graduated from college, I didn't know where I could use my math. I didn't know about government jobs. I didn't know about, mostly the only thing I knew about was teaching. And that was my plan when I graduated from college, to be a teacher. But the head of the math department at Hampton told me about possibility of working for the government. I didn't think I had any chance, but he told me to send my grades into this place, and I got rated as a GS7. So I went home at the end of the school year and waited for, I applied for a lot of teaching jobs. So I got a job offer in Richmond, Virginia, but I didn't sign the contract right away. I said, well, I still might get this government job where I was making, would make a little more money. I was about ready to sign the contract, but I got a call from the government saying, you were supposed to report. I said, report? I haven't heard anything. So I got an opportunity to take that job making $2,000 more. So I chose money over my desire to be a teacher. 2,000 more a year.
And then what types of jobs did you have with the government?
I started out working for the Department of Defense, and I was involved in the submarine program, the missile program, the Polaris program, the Poseidon program, and the Trident program. This was really important work, and I enjoyed it. But it was all about, when you're working for the Department of Defense, it's all about how many people you can kill. So I decided I wanted to move in another direction. So then I got a job with the Department of Transportation, where I worked the rest of my career.
So, can you tell me how long were you with the Department of Transportation?
I was there for 20 years, and I started at the DOD as a GS7, but I rose to a GS14 at the Department of Transportation, and there I had several different positions: supervisory operation research analyst or supervisory program analyst. And when I retired, I was chief of a division that oversaw a multi-million-dollar budget for the Federal Railroad Administration.
When you were a student here at Chestnut Grove Elementary, did you understand at that time that you were attending a segregated school because of segregation?
I was well aware of that. And it was in my face every day. We always got books, but we got the old books. We got books that had gone to the white schools first. We could tell because they would be beat up. They would have the names of students who had those books before, and we were reminded every day that we were going to a segregated school. But I didn't let that keep me from doing what I needed to do to learn and be ready to go to college when I graduated from high school.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, what type of discipline do you recall being used here at Chestnut Grove Elementary?
Well, it was mostly corporal punishment. if if you did something wrong, or even people sometimes were paddled for not doing their schoolwork, but it was physical punishment more than talking to you about things. Although I do remember my teacher taking me and a young lady on the school bus to talk to us because I had written a letter to her, and it was not a very nice letter, but the principal saw it. He gave it to her. So he took us onto the school bus. I mean, she took us onto the school bus and talked to her, and I started crying because I was afraid she was going to tell my mother, and I certainly didn't want my mother to know, but she never did because it was not easy to communicate with parents then. They didn't have telephones, you didn't have emails, it, so that's probably why she did communicate that to my mother.
Okay. Uh, During the time that you were here in elementary school, what type of bathroom facilities did they have here at Chestnut Grove Elementary?
Until my last year, my eighth grade year, we had outdoor facilities. You had a pump outside to get water, and for the bathroom facilities, it was outdoors, outhouses as we called them. But the last year we did have indoor plumbing right outside of our classroom, in the eighth grade classroom.
As far as lunchtime, you had mentioned lunchtime. Was there a cafeteria at the time you were here, or
No, you had
no?
to bring your own lunch, and most of the time, when you get up grades past grades like number 4, you stop bringing your lunch. You just went the whole day without having lunch. You just at the break time or lunchtime, you wanted to go out and play baseball or basketball or shoot marbles. You didn't want to eat lunch. Some people continued to bring lunch, but most people just went without lunch.
So, what do you think about our efforts here at the center to collect these oral histories?
Oh, I think it's so important for people to see what we went through. Sometimes I get disappointed when people don't take advantages that they have today. But I think seeing what we went through and how we were able to succeed would be very helpful for young people to see.
Okay, before we finish our interview today, is there any other memories of being here at Chestnut Grove or anything that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I used to remember on May 1st we used to wrap the maypole. I don't know whether a lot of people remember that, but that was a fun event. The boys and the girls participated in wrapping the maypole, and also we had our Tarka contest where you set a speech and then you had somebody to determine who did the best job. I remember doing it like I think starting in the fifth grade, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth, and in the beginning, I got honorable mention, then I got like third place and second place. And in the eighth grade, I figured I was going to win. But during my speech, I lost concentration and didn't complete my speech and didn't get anything for my eighth grade speech. But but I really enjoyed the oratorical contest.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you, and we appreciate that you spent the time to give us your oral history of Chestnut Grove
Well,
Elementary.
thank you. I've enjoyed.